Finally, I'm able to sit down and do Get Ready With Me. I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. So today I want to do a Get Ready With Me, you guys, because I haven't done one in a very long time, and there's a lot that I want to update you guys on and let you guys know, because it's been a good 2 months since I've sat down with you guys and just talked. So I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to do my best to update or put everything down in the description box. Today I do want to use my Be Mine palette. Don't fall. I have another table on the side so that I can have all my stuff. It's the Be Mine palette by Sydney Grace. The only purchase I did in January. I just love Sydney Grace's formulas. I own all their palettes, and if their palettes were sold in singles, I bought the singles instead of the palette itself. So you guys, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed with the formula. So this is gonna be like a first impression, but I'm already familiar with the formula, so I kind of have an idea of what to expect. At least I hope I do. And I do have some thoughts on that palette just by looking at it. So anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and do our makeup, shall we? I'm gonna do my face first, and then I'll zoom in when I do my eyeballs, because that's how I roll. Speaking of this is in a project pan, you guys. I put this up to a light and I saw that I am down to like here. I didn't realize I could see right through it. So maybe in the next update, I'll show you guys where I'm at. So yeah, welcome to my channel. As you guys, most of you guys know that I missed the majority of January. I am good. My cough is basically gone, thank goodness. Let me tell you, when you have a cough for 2 months, basically like 6 weeks, 3 months in December, 3 months in January, you pull a bunch of muscles in your back and your stomach, depending on how you cough or how hard you need to cough. Oh Lord, whew, I had to do some TLC to my back because that was torture. I'm gonna try not to use as too much of my Project Pan products, just because I want to use other things. I've been very, very strict this month with sticking to my Project Pan products, just because I lost so much time in January that I want to have this month. This is the shortest month of the year, so why not just use my Project Pan products? So today's one of the few days that I will allow myself to not use my Pan Those eyeshadows or any other shadows that are in other Project Pans, just to be able to, because I want to review this palette too. Oh, I just broke a nail. Are you kidding me? Whatever. I'll just file it when I'm done. So anyway, this, I haven't missed a day of makeup yet. I've worn makeup every single day in the month of February so far, which I am very happy that I'm on it. I might give myself a break. But I have been I've been getting back into my skincare routine. That's another thing. I didn't do my skincare routine while I was sick. Like, I mean, I wore nothing, not even SPF, let me tell you. Ugh, that was torture. But I'm so happy to see that everyone, it seems like the numbers have dropped, which is nice. And we're trying to get back to some sort of normalcy. They're lifting the mask mandates in schools in a month, which I know that it depends on your own personal like family and who you have around you. You're gonna have your own feelings about it, because I know I can understand those that have family members or kids that have a compromised immune system, but that doesn't mean that just because they lift the mask mandates, they can't wear still the mask. You know what I mean? Like, you still have a choice. So, but I also see the other side for those kids that need that kind of normalcy, those kids that need like speech therapy, and it's hard when you have a mask on. One of my kids says the letter S incorrectly, and I have been in contact with the school to get a teacher a special teacher to help her with her S's, and it's been difficult because they need to wear the mask. So I basically got nowhere with that. And it's not their fault, and I understand, but this is gonna benefit me because now she can get the help she needs to be able to correct that. And we try at home, but you know, we're her parents and this is her comfort zone. So to her, she doesn't take it seriously. She thinks we're just playing around. So that's that. I also have no car. You guys know that my car is old. I have had my car for over 10 years. My car is 15 plus years old. It has over 200,000 miles. There's no need for me to get a brand new car or something newer because I don't really go anywhere often, but I still need something to be able to have access to the grocery store, to pick up a child if I need to at a school, drop off something, you know what I mean? Like run an errand here and there. Nothing where I'm needing it, you know, brand new and no issues. But my car is getting older, and when it gets to winter time, she just does not want to stay on. Like she conks out, the stability, traction comes on, and the engine goes to like 10%, so it won't even let you go. I mean, it's a mess. And we've been dealing with this for years now, like for a good 5-6 years, but it's getting worse and worse as she's gotten older. Yes, it is a girl in my car. And we're just ready to move on. The only issue is everything is hiked up in price. It's ridiculous, the markup on these cars. And we're not a family, or Mr. Man and I are not the type of person that wants the newest, latest, greatest, featuring all these gadgets. Like that's not our personality. We've never been into that kind of stuff. I don't want my car to talk to me. I don't want to have a camera in my car. I don't want my car to beep for every little thing I'm doing. I just want it to work. Give me power windows, power locks, and everything else, let it be simple. I don't want my butt to be warm. I don't want my hands to be warm with the steering wheel. I don't want it to remind me to turn off my blinker. Like I don't want any of that. So we're having a hard time because most vehicles are like that. And if we're gonna get a new car, like a new car, but not brand new, you know, of the year, it's gonna probably have all these amenities that I don't really care for. I really, really don't care. I don't want that push button thing. No, I just want the old school stuff where I know it's gonna last and it's gonna break. It's not gonna break, so. But it doesn't matter because no matter where you go, everything is jacked up in price. We have a family friend and they were just browsing for a car. They don't need a car. They were just browsing to see what was happening, and there was this car that his wife loved, and the price of the car was $45,000. The gentleman had told her, would you sell it for like 42 or something? And he goes, no, I'll sell it to you for 47. And she's like, that doesn't make any sense. He goes, oh, this car's sold for 45. I'll sell it to you for 47. You could take it. Like that's how bad it's gotten, where you can buy a car, but they will still sell it to the best bid. It's no different from like buying a house where the biggest bid, and if you outbid somebody, that's how it's getting with cars. People are outbidding each other for cars. And we're at the point where it's not a luxury for us, it's more of a necessity. So we are prepping ourselves and knowing that we're gonna have to pay more than what the car is worth. And we already have a hard time with that because we never buy a brand new car. And it's just gonna be a pain because nobody likes to buy cars. It's already a pain to do that, and for us it's just gonna be even more of a pain because we know that it's not worth that. But we don't have a choice. Our second car only seats 4 people in there, and we're a family of 5, so we can't even use it for all of us to step out. So it's just becoming difficult for us to be able to, and now with all the kids' sports starting again, it's just we need something reliable. So I don't know what we're gonna do, you guys. I don't know. We were just talking about this last night, looking at options. We're just more concerned of getting screwed and paying for something too high and then realizing that we overpaid. So we're talking to friends and family that may know somebody at a dealership that could help us out, that won't screw us over, that won't jack up the price just because they see loser or dummy on our foreheads. We're trying to not seem desperate so then they won't take advantage of that. So I'm praying. I'm leaving it in God's hands. He knows what we're doing. He knows our needs. So I'm just going with the flow and doing my thing. Not trying to stress out about it. It's just a car. I joke around and tell everyone that I will meet them wherever they need me to meet them with a bicycle and my kids on my back. Because who knows? So I never finished my story about the sickness that I had in December. You guys know that I suffer from allergies, specifically seasonal allergy, but now it's gotten to the point where I can get allergies in December. I can get them any time of the year, and they're getting worse and worse and worse. So I told you guys I was going to go finally see a specialist, right? Well, where I live, as you guys know, we live basically in the woods, like rural area. There's not much around us, including doctors. So I had to drive closer to Philadelphia to find an allergist, a specialist, and found an awesome doctor. He's very, very old school, to the point where he's so old school that he pulled out a leather like binder with a pack of scripts for him to physically write out my script. I have not seen that since I was in my teens. Most doctors will say, oh, I'll send the script over to whatever, CVS, Walgreens, wherever it is that you go. They'll send the script and then you just go pick it up. They don't physically give you a script. They all do it electronically. Well, this doctor does not. And I can appreciate that, because I love an old school doctor, because I know that they're not going to like push things on me or like lie to me. Not that these new doctors are like that, but the mentality is different from a doctor who has been 30 plus years versus somebody who's not, because they're just going along with what the times are now versus what they were. So this doctor, I got tested. I explained to him what I wanted to get tested. By the way, this blush, it's very pigmented, but look how pretty that is. And I'll buff it out. This one's called Adults Only. The only blush I own like this, you guys. And I love it. I only use a little bit. This is going to last me a lifetime, because look at that. I don't need a lot with this one. So anyway, so the doctor tested me. I told him what that I knew I was lactose intolerant, but I just wanted to confirm it. I can't go outside at all during the spring season. I'm literally overdosing myself with meds in the seasonal times, because I just can't function outside. I can't walk from my door to the mailbox and back without like dying from the pollen. So they did the old traditional test where he put liquids on my back and of different kind of trees, grass. I told him what I wanted him to test me for. And you guys, I am about 6 to 7 times more allergic to basically almost every tree and grass you could think of than I am lactose intolerant. When the nurse came back in to see my back, she couldn't even distinguish which tree it was, because the tree rose that I had, it swelled up so much that she said it looked like just a big long line of blob. Like it was just, she couldn't see at all. Like it was ridiculous. She goes, "You are very highly allergic to life," basically. So my doctor came back in and he's like, either, he goes, "You basically maxed out on what you can take as far as antihistamines, nasal sprays, all that kind of stuff." He said, "You got 2 options. Either you buy a yacht and you live out 30 miles out to sea where there's no pollen, or you're going to have to start immunotherapy," which is like shots. He goes, "because there's nothing else that really would work for you." And I'm like, and I knew at this point I was going to have to do the shots. I prepped myself for it. I've had allergies for about 20 years now. So I knew there was going to come a point where I would need medical intervention and that I couldn't control myself. So I was supposed to start it in January, but of course I had Rona the week that I had this. And mind you, he's so backed up that I had to make this appointment a month ahead. By the time that it came, I had Rona, so I couldn't even make the appointment. So I had to reschedule it for February. By the time you see this video, I've already started my first shot. I have no clue what to expect. Like I have spoken to people who have done the shot series and they said it works tremendously. And my understanding is they cater the shot according to your own personal allergies. So over time you build an immunity to it and you're able to function without any shots or pills or anything, which is amazing. You guys know we are a very outdoorsy family, and it has been torture for me not to be able to go out for like 3 months because I just can't function. I cannot function. I can't breathe. I can't even sit in the car. It's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I never had allergies as a kid. I developed allergies in my early 20s. So this is just something that I got to work with. So I'm actually excited and nervous at the same time because I don't know what to expect. I don't know what it's going to do, how long I will need. He says everyone is different. So it could be a year for me. It could be 2 years of this. It all depends on how my body takes it. But it'll be really nice to be able to be outside, enjoy the outdoors in the spring, be able to garden and not have to put everything on Mr. Man because I can't be out there turning dirt. It's just gonna feel so nice. It's been so long since I've been able to do this. And every year it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. So as you guys can see, in December, I was sick for 3 weeks with a cough and stuffiness and basically almost lost my voice, all because of allergies. All because it warmed up for 3 days in December and my allergies came back. So I'm allergic to every tree except for 3. I know one of them is pine, one of them is holly, and there's a third one that I'm not allergic to. Other than that, I am allergic to every single thing. I'm allergic to bluegrass. I'm allergic to trees that I'd never even heard of, basically. And he said it was not a good idea to buy a house in the woods because it just made it worse for me. So, yep, that's where I stand with that, you guys. So I'll let you guys know. And I did just speak to somebody and they said that they get the shots in the back of your arm. Because I was wondering, I'm like, isn't my arm going to get like sore after a while? Like, I'm a little bit nervous about that. And they say they put it on the back of the arm. And it's a small needle, so it doesn't really like affect you or hurt you. It's not like a big needle. So I'm like, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Let's hope that that's what it is. If any of you guys have ever gone through it, let me know because this is all new to me, like all new. I didn't know that you could get shots until my dental hygienist had told me in April of last year to go find a specialist and inquire about it because I had told her that while she was cleaning my teeth, I couldn't breathe. I had taken so many meds for the allergies and she explained it to me. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then that's when I decided to search and look for somebody. And that's where we're at right now, you guys. I don't know. As you get older, you keep just needing more and more doctors. Oh, the nature of the game, huh? So that's where we are. That's where we are. It is, it's been a very, very cold winter, you guys. Very, very cold winter. I am actually looking forward to the springtime. I actually hear the birds outside. So they're starting to chirp around. Normally, I hear the birds, and then around March is when they start to make their nests. So I don't know if I'm going to put out my reef again because I don't want them to make a nest in my reef again. I don't know. I need to open up my front door. I need to open up my front door. So we'll see. I'm just going to set my eyelid and then I'm going to zoom you guys in so we can use that palette. All right. Zooming you in. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like. I will have a swatch reel thing so you guys can see it. I am actually very excited, you guys, because I have been using my Gain Beauty brushes and I tried out a few of the new brushes that I got from the Beauty List thing and I am loving both. These two so far are my favorite. This Gain Beauty one and E02, I love this one. Love it to pack on stuff. I love this one. And then this one in, it's unit 307. This is so nice. I'm liking both of these. These are really nice brushes. I'm gonna try to do something different from what I've been seeing. So I am going to start out. Let's start out with Darling. Mixing Darling and Soulmate. So these two right here. Let's mix those two. Now I've only seen one or two. Oh yeah. Sydney Grace is at it again. I love their formula. So I have heard that some people are a little bit disappointed. I actually bought this time around the light version of this palette. This is the light version. I normally typically buy almost in every single one of Sydney Grace's collections. I've always buy the deep version because I always feel like the light version is way too light for me. It's like more for fair. I don't want it to be so stark white in my face like the light colors, so I typically go for the deep version. This one I bought the light version because I felt like these light colors weren't so light. They were actually perfect for a person with light to medium skin tone. But that's what I've heard the gripe about, is I have been hearing people that are upset because the palette in the light version isn't light enough for fair skin. But for me, for once, it's finally good for me. So I can see that because I bought the light version, which I felt wasn't light enough, and that's why I bought it. So I get it. But I'm not complaining because I finally get to buy the light version and it works for me. Because I'm always having to get the deep version, and I feel like the deep version sometimes can be a little bit extremely pigmented because they're deeper colors that I have to be extra careful with some of the shades. So that's the only thing that I have heard or I've heard complain about, that this is just not light enough. So if you're somebody who has very, very light skin, you're fair porcelain, this might be too dark for you. Or if you don't mind it, it's still a good palette. To deepen out, I'm gonna swatch these two right here. This one in Eye Candy and in Crush on You. I want to see which one of these two I want to use. I want to use something different, so. One's a brown. Oh, that's really nice and deep. One's a green. I kind of like the green. Ooh, see that? This one's Eye Candy and this one is Crush on You. Crush on You is like nice chocolate. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on the outer part of our eye and do pucker up. So let's use this one. This is the E01 brush. This is more like a densely, I like this one to pack on the outer part. I've also been using this one from Game Beauty. And the handle, I love, oh my goodness, look at my hands are all dirty. This handle right here, see how it indents? So you can actually hold the brush and feel comfortable with it. And I love that. That's something unique that I haven't seen many brush companies do. These are so soft. And they pick up the products well. I've yet to wash these because the day that these came in the mail, I posted about them in my Instagram, and literally that same afternoon I was out for the count for a good week. So I couldn't even enjoy these, try these out. And by the time that I started to feel better, started recuperating, it was already the last week of January, and we're going into February. So now is when I'm starting to use them, and I really, really like them. They're nice, see? Wow, Alex, wow. Okay, we have one blending brush that I just used to buff everything out before we go in with that color. One of the reasons why I wanted to get this palette is, one, Sydney Grace's formula, love it. And two, it is not a palette that showcases your typical burgundy, all burgundy palette, all reds, all pinks, all variations, you know what I mean? Like it's different kind of Valentine's Day palette, which I like because I'm going to mix things up. So we're going to go in with eye candy. Eye candy. I'm going to go in with the brush, the E02 from Game Beauty, just because I want to start out seeing how it works with the brush. Yeah, see? Works really nice. If I go in with my finger, it's going to be like extremely pigmented. Watch. Go in my finger. Oh, yeah. See how much more pigmented that is? Okay. We'll buff out the edges with this. And I don't have that much fallout. I have a little bit of fallout, but not much. We're gonna have a grungy Valentine's Day. I have no idea what we're doing for Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy anti-Valentine's Day. Whatever it is. For me, it's just another day. But it is nice to get chocolates. Even though, oh my gosh, now that I say that, you guys. Okay, so remember I told you my allergy story? So I had mentioned to my doctor that I noticed that every time I would drink anything with caffeine in it or eat anything with caffeine, I would get a headache, get a migraine. Not just a headache, but I mean a bad migraine. And it would happen within like seconds of me eating something like that. And some days were more sensitive than others. And he goes, oh, I am the same way. He goes, listen to this, you guys. I have been drinking decaf coffee for 20 plus years, and I only drink it for warmth, not so much for a pick-me-up because it's decaf. I drink teas that are decaf because I caught on really quick in my 20s that I noticed that every time I would have regular coffee, I would get these bad headaches and I just couldn't explain it. So I started to narrow things down and realize, well, maybe I'm not it's just too much for me. Like caffeine is just too much for me. That's how I put it at. So when I told him that, he goes, listen to this, you guys. I am allergic. I have a chemical allergy to caffeine. So basically what he said is I'm basically allergic to anything that has caffeine, including coffee, teas, and chocolate. I'm allergic to chocolate. I couldn't believe it. And it makes sense because when I would have chocolate, as soon as I would eat a piece sometimes, the migraine would be ridiculous. And I thought the whole time I was having like sinus pressure, and it was a migraine because it would last for days until I realized that by the third day I was getting nauseous and the light was bothering me. I was like, this isn't sinuses, this is a migraine. But it was like 3 days later of me suffering because I didn't know it was a migraine because I didn't know what it was doing. So he says I have a chemical allergy to it just because he has the same thing. He says what my brain does is whenever I have caffeine, it like something in my brain swells up and I basically get the typical headache you would get if you were to wake up the next day with a hangover. He goes, that's what it would do. He goes, if you were to go in your brain when you have these headaches and cut whatever, he goes, you wouldn't bleed because you're so swelled up. He goes, yeah. He goes, you have a chemical allergy to it. I forget what the chemical name of it is, but he did tell me, and he said that for him, he has a weakness to this liqueur that is chocolate, and he has to really think about it before he drinks it because it's like a double whammy. It's alcohol and it's chocolate in it, so he's just gonna be bad. So he basically said, don't eat dark chocolate. He goes, that's the worst you could do because that'll give you the worst migraines of life. And all of last year, while I was trying to get myself fit again and lose the little bit of weight that I gained from the pandemic, I was eating dark chocolate because it was supposed to be healthier for you, and the whole time I kept getting myself headaches. So he goes, don't do dark chocolate. He goes, milk chocolate and white chocolate have the least amount, so stick to them if you are going to have something. He goes, but it has to be a small amount. So I am listening to my body, and if I seem to be okay, and I feel like I'm just gonna go with these two right here. And if I seem to be okay and handling chocolate, then I'll have a piece of chocolate, or I'll have like a little small Hershey Kiss or something. But I can't overindulge in chocolate, and makes sense why I drink decaf coffee and I don't have regular coffee. Because I remember posting on my Instagram back in like November. I finally said, oh, I'm just gonna have regular coffee. I'm gonna see. And I don't know why I did it, because that same night I had the worst migraine of my life, and I was like, yep, I'm still there. And at the time I didn't know I had an allergy. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is still an issue for me after so many years. So there's really nothing that can be done with that. I just have to prevent it by monitoring and having self-control. So I was like, great, just add chocolate. I can't have dairy. I can't have chocolate. I don't drink alcohol. And when I do have a glass of wine, I notice that it swells up my sinuses. So I really don't have wine. I can't have soda. I can't have regular teas. These are all the things that went through my head when it was confirmed that I had a allergy to this. This is the story of my life, you guys. I went in with Smooch in my inner corner. It is a beautiful inner corner highlight, you guys. That is beautiful. Ah, man, just keep adding to my allergies. And look, I have self-control, so I know I'll be okay. But I've told people this, and they're like, I can't function without a cup of coffee. And I've never really depended on a cup of coffee to function. So I don't understand that, like, me personally, but I get it because of Mr. Manager. I'm just going to tight line with this real quick. I'm just going to smudge a little bit on my top lash line here. But I feel like I keep adding more stuff to my you cannot eat kind of list. And there's going to come a time where I can't eat anything. I do have very good self-control when it comes to food. Like, I've always had a good relationship with food. So for me, it's not torture to eliminate something out of my diet, because the first time I had to eliminate something out of my diet was in high school when I found out I was lactose intolerant. And then in my early 20s, I realized that MSG would give me migraines. Doctor confirmed that. So I cut out anything with salt. And if I would eat like chips or something, it would be very small amount. And I still, to this day, I have very small amounts of MSG. I cook with very little salt. If I cook for other people, I tell them it may taste bland for you, but for us, it's normal. If you want more salt, here's the salt shaker, whatever. But we don't put out the salt shaker in our table at home. We have not taught our kids that they could just keep adding salt to their thing, so they're okay. But now I just gotta add chocolate, anything with caffeine, chocolate. If I'm gonna have soda, I normally have Coke because it's less sugary, and I buy the mini cans. And I buy the 12-pack that'll last me like 6 months because I don't drink it all the time. I don't have it all the time. Right now I have a water bottle because I didn't get my tumbler that I normally get out of, and this was just here, so I'm drinking that. But I normally have like my tumbler full of water every day. I love ice water, but when I did have Rona, that's all I kept having was water. That towards the end of my sickness, I was over it. I didn't want any more water. It tasted funny to me. I just wanted something else. So I had Mr. Man like buy me Gatorade and stuff just to have something else. But yeah, I want to let you guys know that
I can't have chocolate.
Like, and the funny thing is every time I tell a woman that I can't have chocolate or caffeine, it's like I literally cursed. I just cursed at them. I am cursed. I am like the black cat that is cursing everyone. Like, yeah, it's funny to see people's reactions when I tell them, because they think at first I'm joking, but I'm genuinely not. I have a chemical allergy. It's not a physical allergy, it's a chemical allergy. And if I could find a chocolate that doesn't have this whatever, I'm going to see the doctor, obviously, so I'm going to ask him again. So I'm going to write down the chemical that I'm allergic to. And if I could find a company that makes chocolate without that ingredient, then I can have it again. But I don't know if that even exists. I may be 1 in a million. I don't know. I am the only person that I know besides my doctor that has an allergy to chocolate. Like, what is, you would have thought, right? But I'm happy that I'm allergic to something that really isn't good for you in a way than being allergic to something that is healthy for you. So I'll take that. I'd rather cut out something that's just not going to benefit me 100% versus being like allergic to broccoli or something, because I love broccoli and it's a very greeny veggie and it's good for you. So I figured I'd rather be allergic to chocolate than to broccoli, because at least I can get my vitamins out of that. Or salmon, you know what I mean? Like seafood, I love salmon, so I'll take the chocolate. And I think I have said in the past on my videos that I prefer candy over chocolate, which now I understand why. Now I understand why my body actually cared for chocolate, or didn't care for chocolate as much as regular candy. Like I could do Skittles all day long, but I don't care to have more than like a piece of chocolate in my lifetime. So that makes sense. All right, let me do my hair real quick and then I'll come back. All right, so here's the end result of my eye look. I actually really like it. I think that it came out really nice. Like the colors are very pretty. It's like a purpley green look. Very different for Valentine's Day, but I actually am really digging this. I'm gonna continue to use this in between me trying to hit pan on some shadows, but I'm gonna continue to use this one. I just used all those shades. It looks like I used nothing in here, but it's a beautiful formula. If you are fair or porcelain skin, the light version may not work for you, and I think that's what's holding people back from purchasing it. But other than that, it's a beautiful formula. If you got the Tiny Marvels palette, it's the same kind of formula, so you're not disappointed. And the fact that these are round pans, I'm sure these are magnetic too, so I can pull out what I want and bring whatever I want in if I want to. But it's a beautiful formula. I love Sydney Grace, and you guys know I've been a fan and I've been raving about them for years. I would say a good 6 years at this point. Right before they changed their name, I got into them. There used to be Feather River Beauty, I believe is what they used to be called years ago, and I knew them from then. So, oh, for my lips, real quick, I ended up mixing 2 shades because you guys know I can't help myself. I always mix everything. I ended up mixing Honey Love by MAC, which is this shade right here, and Taupe, which is this shade right here, and that's what I came up with on my lips. I'm loving it. I'm digging it. In person, it looks a little bit more like brownish skin tone than it does on camera. And I always notice every time I wear either black or white shirts, my face never matches my neck on camera. But in person, I match. It's just on camera. So anyway, that is it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will do my best to link everything I use down in the description box. You guys, I've been using this Nabla mascara. I love it. Major Pleasure mascara. So good. I really like this mascara. I didn't think I would like it, but I'm actually digging that too. So anyway, everything will be linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this chit chat with me. I'll try to do these once a month, at least the minimum. I'll try to do them a little bit more, but I needed to get all this off my chest and let you guys know updates of what's going on in my life, because you guys are my friends. So I just wanted to let you guys know. So thank you guys again. More videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.